Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good. I took some time off basking in the victory of my fantasy football championships. Hopefully you guys did as well. I mean, we made it. We were hoisting those trophies. Throw it in the comments if you are a fantasy champion, because it does take some skill to get these trophies. No kidding. But what are we talking today? Dynasty Fantasy Football. Buy or sell on these running backs. Lots of questions. What do we do with some of this talent? What do we do with some of these players? Can we keep them? Should we shop them? This is the big news we got to talk about in this offseason. I got you covered all offseason long, man. No kidding. Stick with me. We'll not only deal with rookies, dynasty football, but I will prep you for next year. And there is no offseason here. No kidding. But what do you guys say we talk a little buy or sell dynasty running backs? So let's roll. First one on the board on the buy trend is Jonathan Taylor, running back 35 at this point right now. Still 1 week to go, so the end season rankings will alter as we get concluded with the NFL season. But injuries clouded JT's season. No kidding, man. But the Colts managed to stay in the mix the entire year. This is positive news. JT's got 139 attempts, 553 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Not a good season for Jonathan Taylor. Okay, we get it. They lost their rookie quarterback, Anthony Richardson, but he should be back to the fold in the mix next year. So that means sky is the limit for this offense. And this could be one of the one-off seasons for injuries for JT, man. I am buying him on a discounted rate. No kidding about that. DeAndre Swift, next one on the board, running back 17, 229 attempts for 1,049 yards and 5 touchdowns. Great bounce back season for a DeAndre Swift. And I mean, okay, while he wasn't utilized in the pass game as much as we had hoped, he is flirting with top 10 numbers early on this season. Now he is filtering down with, top 15 running back finish, man. If he re-signs with the Eagles, this is a contract year. I mean, the rushing upside will absolutely continue on a run-heavy squad in Philly. Young backs who have upside are a massive buy in a dynasty fantasy football. So buy DeAndre Swift. Still on cheaper dollars, man, because he still did not crack the top 15 to top 10 running back ranking. So there is potential. Also with the possibility he could be playing elsewhere next season if he stays with Philly. I mean, it's good news. If he goes somewhere else, we'll see how that does transpire. But cheaper rates are definitely here for DeAndre Swift. I am buying everywhere I got him. Brian Robinson, running back 12. B-Rob's coming close to breaking that 1,000-yard mark. And I mean, he's been both successful in the run and the pass games, which I was, no surprise to me. I guess I should say it that way. He is that dual threat running back, goal line upside. And I mean, the Commies offense is going to be interesting. Will Eric Bieniemy be the head coach of these Washington Commanders, or will he move on? Rumor has it the Falcons are deep on the mix of getting Eric B on there as their head coach. So we will see what's the deal with Sam Howell. Lots of moving parts in Washington, so we can continue to push the buy low on a B-Rob. I am buying all day long. This guy is a true thoroughbred. 250 touches from the backfield is not out of the question once again. Next season, buying up all shares of B-Rob. James Cook, running back 10, Buffalo Bills. Since, the Bills changed their offensive coordinator in Buffalo, Joe Brady has integrated James Cook a lot in this offense. Just what I was hoping to see. And if Brady does stay on as the Bills OC, we could see some head coaching jobs pop up for the man. But if he does stay on as the OC for the Bills, Cook's role isn't going anywhere. Breaking 1,000 yards and 224 carries thus far. One more game to go. James' role in the pass game has been absolutely great this last month in December, so we'll see how it does go. But the price is rising on a James Cook on the daily, so at this point, when the season does end, you got to be at least willing to pay a little bit more. But James Cook is one of these guys that I'm definitely buying and wanting to get on my dynasty roster. Ramondre Stevenson, New England Patriots running back 33, and okay, while the Pats season was an absolute disaster, rumor has it that Bill Belichick could be on his way out. New coaching staff could be on the docket. Injuries took down Dre this season. I mean, he wasn't really overly efficient this year on the field as well, so it was a problem. Not utilized in that pass game like we had seen the season prior, which, uplifted his fantasy value and draft stock for us this past year. One has to wonder if he is a sell candidate, but what are you going to get on the open market for Ramondre at this point? It is not good. We can snag him for pennies on the dollar in hopes for a bounce back. I am not, out of the question for buying a Ramondre Stevenson on extremely low, because we've seen the upside of being the potential top 10 running back in fantasy football, so I do not hate buying him on pennies on the dollar with a wait-and-see potential that hopefully next season will bring much more green pastures to come his way. Zamir White, running back 60 right now, Las Vegas Raiders. You guys know my love for the Raiders. Zeus White, I love this kid's talent so much. Very talented running back when he got his shot when Josh Jacobs did go down, holding a solid 4.3 yards per carry with the added workload. He did look good, man. There is potential here with Josh Jacobs if he does not come back to Vegas next season. Will Zeus be a true running back one with the Raiders if Jacobs is gone? That is still to be seen, but he at least showcased enough that he could carry the load, at least on first, second downs, showed some upside in passing games. His hands are not as bad as a lot of people do believe, but we will see. I mean, it's worth taking a flyer on, especially for a guy at running back 60. A lot of question marks to be had. You could buy him very cheap right now and keep him on your roster and hopefully wait and see that things do pan out, because we've seen it with other running backs, just like the next sell candidate, Raheem Mostert, running back 2. Okay, everyone was out on Raheem this past offseason. I kept him on multiple Dynasty rosters in hopes that something would come by. You know, we would have never assumed running back 2. Not one person could have assumed this with the Miami Dolphins. Injuries always clouded his outlook, and if you're like me, you held Mostert on your roster, hoping it could turn out to anything possible, paying us back in a very big way. Raheem is currently the running back 2, like I said, in all half PPR leagues, but with Devin off the A-chain, Achan sitting behind him, potentially, being the lead back, more touches coming his way, but I do believe they liked how this offense was moving with the split backfield. We could see more splits come this way. Raheem has always dealt with injuries in his entire career and basically playing a full 17 slate this year outside of last week. It is not good to be trusting Raheem on the health-wise because his history does showcase a lot of injuries. Now is the time to cash in on this massive value, sell for massive returns, Raheem Mostert, because I don't foresee him getting back in the end zone 20-plus times next year. But stranger things have happened, but I am definitely shopping his services to see if we can get those massive returns. Derrick Henry, running back 8, and while age, I mean, we know the age 30 is usually typically when running backs fall off a cliff. Henry still proved he's got another, 2-3 years of quality left in him. Will he return with the Tennessee Titans next year? That is highly unlikely. We will see if they offer him a contract, if he does go somewhere else. If he does, it's a new team, new system, new scheme, could be on the horizon, could change everything we know about Derrick Henry, because the Titans are an extremely run-heavy squad. Now it's time to shop King Henry, get that top-end return. He's still a top-10 running back. Sell now based on age and, potential team change next year. Derrick Henry, definitely shop his services at this point. Josh Jacobs, running back 23, Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, even though, Jacobs was still producing with these Raiders, I mean, it was filled with so much inadequacy, injuries all over the fold. Injuries to Josh Jacobs, again, foiled his top-end numbers that we hoped for. Jacobs is also entering the open market on free agent as he is playing on the franchise tag this year. Will he be offered another deal? Will the Raiders franchise tag him again? Will they allow him to walk? We will see. It's going to be a lot of moving parts here in that respect as well. Will he get his long-term contract? That is the biggest question, which would also take away Zamir Zeus White's value in Las Vegas. But if Jacobs does leave, it does lift up Zeus. It does actually give you some, room for optimism when it comes to Josh Jacobs on another team. I think it's time to sell before the landscape does get a lot more cloudy for Josh Jacobs. There still is very good value, even though he wasn't able to finish the season based on injury. Javonte Williams, Denver Broncos, running back 31. What a turmoil season it was in Denver. I mean, then some bounce back, and then, the Russell Wilson saga, he's likely gone. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Javonte. You guys know this. Vontae is my guy. But, I mean, the Broncos offense is absolutely terrifying me as we enter in the offseason. Who will be the quarterback next year is going to be the question. Will Vontae be a major part of that, having 200-plus carries, only 750 yards? TDs were also extremely hard to come by with Vontae in this offense. Very tough to trust, man. His value is based on age and potential over proven stats at this point. I mean, don't just sell Vontae for peanuts at this point, but definitely shop his services to see if we can get an upgrade. He is a quality running back, but the way this offense is moving, I am not liking it, and it could bring a lot of headaches to come your way. We could get some draft picks in return, also some decent players, so definitely shop his services. Do not sell for nothing, but absolutely see what is on the open market for a Vontae. Nick Chubb, running back 86, man, and Nick Chubb is still one of the best running backs in the league, but the devastating injury that cost Chubb his season Massive for Dynasty Fantasy Football. Chubb is running so well before he went down with that injury. A full offseason of recovery is on the docket. With past ACL injuries this man has sustained also from college as well, man. I have no question that Nick Chubb will be coming back to form. Just when will that be? Typically, we see anywhere from 9 to 16 months coming back for, full go on an ACL. We've seen Breece Hall get a little bit, faster to uplift that recovery time. But typically, we're seeing 12 months, and then, with some gameplay, about 16 months, we're going to see full-blown ACL recovery. So we may not see the Nick Chubb that we do know and love until the end of 2024 season. So it is one of these situations. Name value is still very high. Youth in his age is also very high. Shop Chubb and see what we can get for those high returns. Don't sell him for nothing either, because he still is a top 5 running back potential, even coming off the ACL. But you might have to wait for him next season. He may not help you a lot. So definitely put him on the trade block and see what you can get. Last one we got is James Conner, Arizona Cardinals. What are we doing with Conner? Running back 25. The return of Kyler Murray brought out the best once again in James Conner, which was nice to see. The Cards tried their best to compete, and Conner was a big part of it down the stretch. Under 200 carries, almost 900 yards is very nice, man. Finding his way into the end zone, utilized in the pass game, is also very good. James, he's got 1 year left on his deal, but the Cards could also move on from him this offseason, so that is definitely something to keep tabs on. And will they keep Kyler Murray as the franchise quarterback? That is also going to be a hot topic this offseason. So many unknowns in Arizona to come this offseason. His late season tear definitely bolstered his value. So, sell on a James Conner right now. See what we could get with his value. And, Dynasty Fantasy Football is just around the corner. I got wide receivers, quarterbacks, tight ends for you coming. Rankings, it's all fun, man. Just wait for it. It's coming. So there you have it. That is Dynasty running backs buy and sell as we're entering the offseason for fantasy football. Lots of football still left, like I said. Playoff implications in the NFL. NFL playoffs coming. Who's going to be the Super Bowl champion? Very exciting stuff, but stick with me. I got you covered for the long haul. There is no offseason, like I'm saying. So drop in the comments if you guys did win your trophies. I do want to see them. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. And we'll see you next time. I am out.